Until one rainy night changed
We'll be home
everything.
soon, sweetheart.
Dad, I'm hungry. Those three
I'm really
words
hungry.
shattered Marcus's heart. He reached into his pocket. $1, that was all he had left. Outside, the rain was pouring. His 6-year-old daughter was shivering in his arms. Every landlord had slammed the door in his face. Every job interview ended with, "We'll call you." But no one ever did. To most people, Marcus wasn't a father trying to protect his child. He was simply another man they refused to trust. What happened that night would change not only Marcus's life, but also the hearts of everyone who had ever judged him. Stay with me until the end, because this story isn't about race, it's about humanity. Every door closed, Marcus walked nearly 12 miles that day. His shoes were soaked.
Are you doing okay,
His
baby?
stomach had been
We are
empty
almost
since
there now.
yesterday. But every time he looked at Lily, he forced himself to smile. "Dad, are we close to our new home?" Marcus gently squeezed her tiny hand. "We're getting closer." It was a lie. The truth was, he had no idea where they would sleep that night.
I'm
The
sorry,
first
there is
apartment
no
owner
room.
looked at
I
Marcus,
understand. Thank
then
you
at
anyway.
Lily, then quietly locked the office door. "I'm sorry. We're full." Marcus nodded politely. As he walked away, another couple arrived. The owner smiled. "Come in, I still have one apartment available." Marcus heard every word, but he kept walking, not because he wasn't hurt, because he didn't want Lily to see the tears in his eyes. The second landlord didn't even let them inside. "I don't think this place is right for you," Marcus asked quietly. "May I ask why?" The man avoided eye contact. "I've already made my decision." The door slowly closed. Lily looked up. "Dad, did we do something wrong?" Marcus immediately knelt beside her. "No, sweetheart. You did nothing wrong. Sometimes, people make decisions before they know someone's story." The rain started again. Marcus took off his own jacket and wrapped it around Lily. Within minutes, he was completely soaked, but Lily stayed warm. As night approached, Marcus entered a small grocery store. He searched every shelf. One loaf of bread, $3, a carton of milk, $4. He reached into his pocket, $1.37. That was everything he had left. He quietly placed the food back on the shelf. The cashier noticed. For a moment, Marcus thought she might help. Instead, she looked suspiciously at him. "Sir, if you're not buying anything, please leave." Marcus lowered his head. "I'm sorry." He took Lily's hand and walked out into the cold rain.
Don't you worry, Lily.
That night, they
We will
found an
find a
old
home.
bus stop. It wasn't home, but at least it kept some of the rain away. Marcus sat on the cold bench. Lily rested her head against his shoulder. After
I'm
a
really
long
hungry.
silence, she whispered,
Can we get food?
"Dad, I'm really hungry." Marcus closed his eyes. His heart broke. He searched every pocket one last time. Nothing, not even a single coin. He looked across the empty street. At a brightly lit restaurant, families were laughing. Children were eating warm meals. For a second, Marcus wondered what it felt like to stop worrying. Then he looked back at Lily. He smiled. "Close your eyes. Tomorrow, I'm going to make you the biggest breakfast you've ever seen." Lily smiled. "I believe you." Within seconds, she quietly fell asleep in his arms. Marcus looked at the dark sky. For the first time in years, he cried, not because he was hungry, not because he had nowhere to sleep, but because the one person who trusted him completely was depending on a promise he wasn't sure he could keep. Little did Marcus know, someone had been watching them from across the street, and before the sun rose the next morning, everything was about to change. The stranger in the rain. Marcus didn't sleep that night. Every few minutes, he checked if Lily was still warm. The rain kept falling. The wind grew colder. Around 3 in the morning, a black pickup truck slowly stopped across the street. Marcus immediately became alert. He gently held Lily closer. The truck door opened. An older man stepped out. Grey hair, a long coat, and a flashlight in his hand. Marcus's heart raced. For weeks, life had taught him not to trust strangers. The man slowly walked toward them. He stopped a few feet away. Instead of asking questions, he quietly took off his coat and held it out. "You'll need this more than I do." Marcus looked at him without saying a word. "We're okay," he whispered. The old man smiled gently. "No. You're trying to be strong. But your little girl shouldn't have to be." Marcus looked down. Lily was shaking in her sleep. For the first time, Marcus accepted help. The old man carefully covered Lily with the warm coat. Then he asked, "When was the last time either of you ate?" Marcus hesitated. "Yesterday morning." The old man's face fell silent. Without another word, he walked back to his truck. Marcus thought he had left. But a minute later, the man returned, carrying 2 hot bowls of chicken soup, fresh bread, warm milk, and a small teddy bear. Lily slowly opened her eyes. She looked at the teddy bear, then at the soup. Her tiny voice trembled. "Dad, is this for us?" Marcus couldn't answer. His throat tightened. The old man knelt beside her. "Yes, sweetheart. It's all yours." Lily smiled for the first time in days. Before eating, she quietly broke the bread in half and handed the bigger piece to her father. Marcus stared at her. "You eat it." She shook her head. "We always share." Marcus turned away. He didn't want anyone to see the tears rolling down his face. The old man watched silently. Then he said something Marcus would never forget. "A person's greatest wealth isn't what's in their wallet. It's what's in their heart." After they finished eating, the old man introduced himself. "My name is Daniel." Marcus finally replied, "I'm Marcus." Daniel looked around the empty street. "You don't have anywhere to go tonight, do you?" Marcus lowered his eyes. "No." Daniel reached into his pocket, pulled out his truck keys, and smiled. "My wife will be upset if I come home knowing I left a little girl sleeping in the rain." Marcus hesitated. His entire life, he had been told to be careful, to trust no one. What if this is another disappointment, he thought. Daniel seemed to read his mind. "You don't have to trust me. But trust this. No child deserves to sleep in the rain." For several seconds, neither man spoke. Then Lily quietly grabbed Marcus's hand. "Dad, I think he's a good person." Marcus looked into Daniel's eyes for the first time in weeks. He didn't see pity. He didn't see fear. He didn't see judgment. He simply saw kindness. Marcus nodded slowly. "Thank you." Daniel smiled. "No. Let's go home." As the truck disappeared into the rainy night, neither of them realized that this single act of kindness was about to change far more than Marcus's life. It was about to change Daniel's life forever. A home he never expected. The truck slowly pulled away. For several minutes, no one spoke. Lily rested her head against Marcus's shoulder, holding the little teddy bear tightly. She had already fallen asleep. Marcus looked out the rain-covered window. The city lights slowly disappeared, replaced by quiet country roads. Finally, Daniel smiled. "We're here." The truck stopped in front of a small white house. It wasn't a mansion, It wasn't luxurious, but it felt warm. It felt safe. Before Marcus could open the door, the front door swung open. A woman stepped outside. She looked at Daniel, then at Marcus, then at the sleeping little girl. Without asking a single question, she rushed toward Lily. Oh my God! She's freezing! She gently wrapped another blanket around her. Daniel smiled. Emily, this is Marcus, and this little princess is Lily. Emily smiled warmly. Come inside. Marcus hesitated. His clothes were dirty. His shoes were covered in mud. He looked down. I don't want to make your house dirty. Emily looked him in the eyes. A dirty floor can be cleaned, but a broken heart needs kindness. Marcus stood there, speechless. Slowly, he stepped inside. The smell of fresh bread, hot soup, and a burning fireplace filled the room. For the first time in weeks, Marcus felt warm. Emily placed a bowl of hot soup on the table. Lily slowly opened her eyes. She rubbed them gently, then whispered, Dad, is this our house? Marcus forced a smile. No, sweetheart, but tonight we're safe. Emily served them dinner. Lily looked at the food, then quietly pushed her plate toward Marcus. You eat first. Marcus smiled through tears. We eat together. For the first time in days, father and daughter shared a real meal. After dinner, Daniel disappeared into another room. A few minutes later, he returned carrying a small cardboard box. He placed it on the table. Marcus looked confused. What's this? Daniel smiled. Open it. Marcus slowly lifted the lid. Inside, there were brand new clothes for him, warm winter clothes for Lily, a pair of shoes, and an envelope. Marcus opened it. Inside was $500. His hands began to shake. I can't accept this. Daniel gently closed Marcus's hand. You're not accepting charity. You're accepting a second chance. Marcus could no longer hold back his tears. For months, he had met people who judged him without knowing him. Tonight, a complete stranger believed in him. Without asking for anything in return, Daniel looked at Marcus and quietly said, Tomorrow morning, I'm taking you somewhere. Marcus wiped his tears. Where? Daniel smiled. To meet someone who's looking for a hard-working man. Marcus didn't know it yet, but tomorrow, everything was about to change. 1 year later, the next morning, Marcus woke up before everyone else. For the first time in months, he wasn't cold. He wasn't hungry. He quietly looked at Lily. She was sleeping peacefully, holding the little teddy bear Daniel had given her. Marcus smiled. He whispered to himself, maybe life isn't over after all. A few hours later, Daniel drove Marcus to a construction company. The owner looked at Marcus's resume. There isn't much here. Marcus nodded. I know, but I'll work harder than anyone you've ever hired. The owner stared at him for a moment, then smiled. You start tomorrow. Marcus couldn't believe it. After months of rejection, someone had finally given him a chance. Weeks turned into months. Marcus never missed a single day of work. He arrived first. He left last. Everyone noticed. One afternoon, the company owner called Marcus into his office. I've been watching you. You've earned this. He handed Marcus a promotion, along with a raise. Marcus's eyes filled with tears, not because of the money, but because someone finally believed in him. 6 months later, Marcus rented a small apartment. It wasn't big, but it was theirs. Lily ran from room to room laughing. Dad, I have my own bed, Marcus laughed, and your own window too. That night, for the first time, they ate dinner at their own table. Before eating, Lily closed her eyes. Dad, can we pray for Mr. Daniel? Marcus smiled. Of course. 1 year later, Marcus parked his car outside the same bus stop, where everything had changed, but this time, he wasn't alone. Beside him sat Daniel. The two men quietly watched the rain fall. Marcus reached into his pocket. He pulled out an envelope. Inside was the exact same $500 Daniel had once given him. Daniel smiled. I don't want it back. Marcus gently shook his head. I know. It's not for you. Just then, a young mother, carrying a little boy, walked toward the bus stop. They looked cold, hungry, and lost. Marcus walked over. Without saying a word, he handed her the envelope. The woman burst into tears. I don't know how to thank you. Marcus smiled. Someone once did the same for me. One day, when life gives you the chance, do the same for someone else. The woman nodded. Tears streamed down her face. Marcus walked back to Daniel. Daniel looked at him proudly. You learned the lesson? Marcus smiled. No. You taught it to me. As the rain continued to fall, Marcus looked at Lily, who was laughing while jumping in puddles. A year ago, she had cried from hunger. Today, she laughed without fear. Marcus finally understood something. Kindness doesn't always change the whole world. Sometimes, it changes one person's world, and that person changes someone else's. Remember, never judge someone by the color of their skin or the clothes they wear, because the kindest heart in the room may belong to the person everyone else overlooked. The end.